welcome to Tyler Totten Live. I'm your host, Tyler Totten, and alongside me is my chief analyst, Travis Totten. Now, we didn't race at any track last week, so we don't have a race to wrap up. So we will jump straight to the Atlanta preview. And I just want to talk about Kyle Busch for a second. As we all remember, Kyle Busch won all three of the top touring division races held at Bristol Motor Speedway last week, or 2 weeks ago. And then the following week, he won the truck race. So he basically won four in a row in the top three touring divisions. But he didn't race the Nationwide Series, so we can't count that. So he's still on his streak. But Atlanta Motor Speedway hasn't been a good track to him ever since he got his first win with Joe Gibbs Racing and his first win for Toyota in the Cup Series. So how do you think he'll fare this weekend?
I'm not real sure. I've told you, drivers who go on streaks. Like we saw Ron Hornaday last year in the Truck Series. He went on a 5-race streak, but then didn't really win a lot the rest of the year. So I don't know how Kyle's going to do this week. I think we might get a top 5 out of him. But I'm looking for somebody like his brother Kurt, maybe Jeff Gordon, to get into victory lane this week. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, mentioning Kurt Busch he's been very dominant at Atlanta lately. But I know I asked Stoner this question earlier in the year, and he had no clue. As many of you who watched that show, he just had no clue how to answer this question. Just went off on a different topic. But Steve Addington, the crew chief for Kurt Busch, he used to be the crew chief for Kyle Busch when Kyle got his first win for Joe Gibbs Racing and the first win for Toyota at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So do you think that it's just the dominance of Steve Addington as the crew chief for the drivers at that track over the skill of the driver?
I don't think so, really. I think we have to look at the last name of the drivers, Busch. Now, over the past couple of years, Kyle dominated 08. He didn't win championship, but he was dominant. Kurt's been looking pretty good this year. And so I'm not sure if it's Addington or if it's Busch, or it might be the two names together. I think if Addington went with somebody like Clint Bowyer or Mark Martin, I don't think he'd have as much success. I think it's them two combined is what we need.
All right, we now go to Justin Reed for more words of wisdom.
Breaking news, man found dead in his bathtub in Iowa. Police inspected the house and they found the man dead lying in his bathtub holding a box of Cheerios. They believe it to be a serial killer. We'll keep you informed as this story develops. Now back to you guys.
Thank you, Justin. Ran the ball. All right, well, so this year marks the 50th anniversary for Atlanta Motor Speedway, and they have that musical group. I forgot their name. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Well, either way, it's the Feels Like the First Time. That song, so.
I'm going to ask you never do that again, Dolly.
Yes, well, they sing that song. They're going to have a lot of singing and festivities there. So how do you think the fans will like this race this weekend?
I think it's going to be fun. Normally when you get to 50th or something, people love that 50th Daytona 500. People went wild. Everybody wants it. So, and just to go off on another 50 here real quick, for most of you out there don't know, in my personal life, I work for the Harley Corporation. And if you're west of the Mississippi, then it's Carl's Jr. Well, this is the 50th birthday today of Hardee's. So we're 50 years old. So I'm hoping something special happens there too.
All right. We'll be right back with more Tyler Totten Live right after this. But first, we take you back to Justin Reed for more words of wisdom.
Hold on just a second. What? Okay, Congress has just passed a law that has prohibited Tyler from ever singing on this show again. So, sorry, Tyler. And now, we'll be right back after these commercials brought to you by our good friends down, and they just had a big milestone coming up the past few days, big restaurant chain from our good friends at McDonald's. We'll be right back. Today's word of the day is onomatopoeia, which are words that are spelled like they sound. Buzz, cuckoo, and boom, which makes you wonder, why isn't onomatopoeia spelled the way it sounds?
And we're back.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Tyler Totten Live. I don't know if you were wondering or not, but I'm not wearing my suit jacket today, and that's because it is College Colors Day, and that is where you wear the colors of your favorite college football team, and mine, as you can see, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Thank you, Justin, for that.
See, some of us on this show like to dress accordingly, and we like to actually present ourselves in a good manner.
Oh yeah, because your football jerseys every
So-
week help. All right, this is the Fantasy Points segment, and since we didn't go anywhere last week, we really don't have any update with the points, but we will just tell you what we said last week. So you can see the Fantasy Points up on your screen. Travis is in the lead with 3,482 points. My mom is in second, behind by 235. Roberto is in third, behind by 410. I am in fourth, behind by 481. And Stoner is in last, yet again, behind by 586.
1 is a lonely number, but it's also the best number in racing.
All right, we get a pick this week, and since we are going to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Kyle Busch has been on a roll. I know Atlanta hasn't been his favorite track, but this car right here, this is the car. He got his first win with Joe Gibbs Racing and the first win for Toyota in the Cup Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway right here. It's a replica race-to-use win car, so I'm going with Kyle Busch.
Okay, I'm just going to go with his brother. We're going to go with Kurt, see if he can pull off the sweepness here.
All right, we now take you back to Justin Reed for more words of wisdom.
First off, I want to throw in my pick for the week. My pick for the week is the pace car, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the first. But I'm just saying. In other news, I hate to report this, but I've told you about McDonald's earlier in the show. Last Saturday in Iowa, same state, different county, they found 40 John Deere tractors at Iowa, and they called the police. Turns out it was just prom, so everything is okay. Nothing there. So guys, since we got that cleared up, now back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. All right, well, we'll be right back with more Tyler Totten Live right after this. Can switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on your car insurance? This is Travis Totten and Eating Machine.
And now we're back.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Tyler Totten Live. We don't have anything else to say, so we'll send you back to Justin Reed for some things to ponder.
And now for today's things to ponder. Why is underwear labeled as a pear? Why are oranges called orange but apples not called red? And finally, one for you to think about. If corn oil comes from corn and olive oil comes from olives, then where does baby oil come from? Thanks for watching.
Dead and buried, then it woke you up last night.